Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Leviathan's Lair number 2. And it's been a long time coming. I know. I'm sorry. I'm bad. All that stuff. I have left you guys, and I shouldn't have. But there were a couple of extenuating circumstances that made it so that I couldn't get this out the last couple of Saturdays. And now we're doing it on a Thursday. It's like bonus content, right? So yeah, I was explaining when I turned the stream on that, you know, I had a couple of things going on Saturday, mostly just fatigue the last couple Saturdays. So I was not able to do this when I wanted to, but now we're doing one here just because a lot has transpired since Leviathan's Lair number 1. And we want to talk about all that stuff. And then also, just some housekeeping notes. There will not be a regular Leviathan's Lair, like number 3 basically, will not come out this coming Saturday because Season 8 goes live tomorrow night and we're gonna get up in all of that business. So Saturday I mostly will just spend playing the game, you know, just try to get ahead, do what we can before the weekend is over. And then the next Saturday there will be an episode, but then the Saturday after that, BlizzCon will be happening and I will be over in California. So the show will be here and there, but basically I was saying that I hope to have very good consistency every Saturday, pretty much once 2017 hits. You know, the holidays are going to mess things up a little bit as well. So it is what it is. It is, you know, that's how it goes sometimes, but stick with me. We'll get through it together. I will hold your hand. Alright, so Leviathan's Lair number 2, our topics for today are the BlizzCon 2016 panels, spectacular speculation, and Season 8 thoughts. And for those of you who are catching this for the first time, I highly recommend watching Leviathan's Lair number 1, where I kind of explain what this whole thing is, but basically we just talk about stuff that's going on in the community, sometimes even beyond Blizzard, if exciting things are happening elsewhere. But, you know, Blizzard's my home, so that is mostly the things I'll be talking about. Today, as you can see, we will be playing Hearthstone. And that is a first for me on stream, so, you know, don't mind the plays. They'll probably be bad, but it's there for your entertainment. I think I have a quest for Paladin, so we'll do some Paladin. This brawl's kind of interesting because you get a bunch of shifter Zeros? Forget what it's called. But it's a card that's a 1/1 for 1 mana, and it changes to any other card, any other minion in the game every turn. So it's it makes for an RNG fest of a card, and your deck is pretty much stacked with only those and a few spells. So that's what this brawl is all about. That'll be interesting. Okay. So, BlizzCon 2016 panels. We'll start out with that. We got the information on which panels Diablo will be getting, and they look interesting. So I'll actually, do I dare pull them up on screen? I actually don't think I have that set up. So I won't pull them on screen, but I will look at them and let you guys know exactly what they are. And we'll just put it there. Okay, so the panels. The first one that we have is the Diablo 20th Anniversary panel. And that's going to be a retrospective on Diablo's 20-year legacy and looking into some upcoming content. That's the description of this panel. And that's happening on the main stage Friday at 5 p.m. So what does this mean? Well, the main stage is usually reserved for some pretty big stuff, right? Normally, announcements and things like that. So we're speculating perhaps that there could be some, you know, talk of a way to play Diablo 1 and 2 that is different from how we can do it right now. Wow, look at these cards, they're so bad. Let's just do that. So potentially like making it so that you can launch Diablo 1 and Diablo 2 through the battle.net desktop. I wonder if we'll actually get what the renaming of that brand will be, because, you know, they said they were going to retire the battle.net name to make it something more cohesive with Blizzard. So I wonder if at this BlizzCon they'll finally say, oh, it's going to be Blizzard something. Because they did actually just today release officially the Blizzard voice, I guess, technology. So built into your battle.net launcher is the capability to talk to other players through voice without needing like a Discord or a Skype or whatever, you know. So that is exciting, but we still don't really know what the future of the renaming and rebranding and all that stuff will be. But back to the panels, there is speculation. The biggest speculation when it comes to the anniversary stuff is that there will be Diablo 2 HD, and I'm not biting onto that. I really don't think that, I don't know, I just really don't think that for the amount of work that it would take for them to do that, it just doesn't seem like that's what they would focus their energy and attention on. I think that the nostalgia in the community is making it seem that a lot of people are interested in a Diablo 2 HD or a Diablo 2 remake or something like that. And I'm sure they would be, right? But what I'm thinking is that by the time you get to play it and you're enjoying it, you're in there, it's fun, you know, give it like 2 weeks, give it a month, maybe half a year at the most. Eventually you're just like, wait, I've played this already. This is just Diablo 2. It looks prettier, it works a little bit better with my computer, whatever. And that's it. Like, now I kind of want something else, because the community is so quick to just be like, what's next? What are we gonna get? And I think that, I don't know, it just seems like we would be better off looking forward to something bigger, something like a Diablo 4, something like a brand new game. Just something that would be a bit more enticing, I guess. So that's kind of where I am with that. I think we might see like a Diablo. And I honestly, it wasn't stated in the panels, and then we can talk about the map and stuff like that too, but it wasn't stated whether we'd actually be able to play Diablo 1 and Diablo 2 on the show floor like they were able to do at Gamescom. So I'm not sure if that's actually going to be a capability, but if so, that would kind of fit into the whole, like, you know, celebrate the 20th anniversary. It would make more sense for having like a bigger Diablo demo area, and it would also make sense for the fact that a lot of people are keying in on the Diablo space on the BlizzCon map being labeled just Diablo and not Diablo 3 as it has been for like the past however many years. So I think it's safe to say that we will obviously be talking a lot about the past, a lot about Diablo 1, a lot about Diablo 2, why it was so awesome, where we came from, all that good stuff. Oh, we actually know that this will always be 1 damage, right? Oh, unless we get one of our spells, I guess. Let's see. Let's make the play. Oh, I don't know. Sure, let's do that. 1 damage. Oh, give a minion 1/1. Let's trade that. It's actually like hard to do this and talk at the same time. My bad. Okay. So yeah, that's one of the panels. Again, not quite sure what it all means. They did mention, like, you know, future upcoming content. So I'm not sure if that extends beyond just like, here's a Diablo 2 patch, you know, some things that we're doing to fix bugs, fix cheating, stuff that they have been doing kind of along the way, or if that means something more. At this panel, we'll have Kevin Martins, you know, lead designer, senior game designer Wyatt Cheng. That looks like a title update. He used to be senior technical designer, so unless that's just, you know, the same thing, just said a different way. But senior game designer Wyatt Cheng, lead VFX artist Julian Love, and art director John Mueller. probably saying that wrong, but Mueller. But this one, that name intrigued me just because I think that is the art director that they had been hiring for all along. We were looking to see who would come in for that position when they were hiring for it, and back then it was for the unannounced project. And so we didn't really know what that was for, if it was going to be like a Diablo 4 expansion. You know, people were saying different things. Wow, we have some good options here. I think we'll go with Gallowix. I was right the first time with Mueller. That's what I'm going with. We're going with Mueller. Mueller. So, I looked him up, and I saw a lot of his work. It's really interesting. It's a very distinctive style. It looks like he was working on his own game previously called Oink. Seems pretty cool. He has been working at Blizzard, according to his LinkedIn, since January 2016, so it kind of fits the timeline of what we were anticipating back. You know, they were hiring for that art director back in, I don't even know, middle of last year or so, when we first discovered it anyways. So it kind of fits the timeline. It'll be interesting to see what his impact is, if they talk more about what he'll be doing on that actual panel. I'm kind of curious to see. Let's see. I guess we should cleave him back. Pretty sure we're going to win this game, especially since we have this guy. I love the Murlocs. Oh, we got a shield slam? We're never going to get any value out of that. Okay. So yeah, I'm curious to see, you know, I'm sure he'll be maybe wandering around the floor, so maybe we'll get some personal time to talk to him about his plans and what he's going to be doing for Diablo and Blizzard and all that good stuff, but maybe they'll just talk about it on stage too, which will be cool. Hey, we won. Good stuff. So yeah, I guess that's enough on that panel. We'll see. You know, I am excited about the retrospective aspect of this because it's cool to see where we've come from. You know, that was one of the things that they did with the whole Reaper of Souls retrospective, kind of the changes that were necessary to get to Reaper, and, you know, getting rid of the auction house when Josh kind of did that speech on the courage that it took to make the declaration that we needed to get rid of the auction house. So it'll be nice to kind of see what they've got planned. And tied into this is the whole David Brevik and Bill Roper thing, where we saw tweets pretty much in succession from both of them stating kind of sneakily that they were at Blizzard, without saying that they were at Blizzard. They were like, oh, here's this orc statue, I wonder where I am. And of course, that's like one of the most iconic things on the Blizzard campus, so pretty much everyone knew right away that they were at Blizzard, but people weren't quite sure why or for what reason, and there was a lot of speculation as to whether they were doing something for the 20th anniversary, which seems highly likely. I'm sure they were part of like some video or tribute or whatever have you. But some people were thinking even further beyond. They're like, wait, David Brevik, they had a game director position and it was gone. Is he the game director? Like that, like, you know, the hype train took off. There was some speculation. I will admit that I stated amongst some of the Blizz Pro peeps in our Slack channel that, hey, it would be really cool if Dave Brevik was the next game director for, you know, the big Diablo project that's going on in the background. But of course, that I don't believe is coming to pass. He seems pretty happy with his Greybeard games, his indie stuff. And then we also recently found out, after another tweet that he put out was misconstrued for more Diablo hype, that he will be advising with Grinding Gear Games and PoE with their release in China. He's going to be basically a special advisor to them getting that done. So I think the only involvement we will see from Brevik will be with 20th anniversary stuff, probably tied into either that panel or, of course, the big party that they're planning to throw at BlizzCon, which is going to be so cool, by the way. I'm really excited for that event. It's going to be outside of the convention center. if you don't have a ticket, you can still go, which I think is a really cool thing for them to do. Sometimes people do fly out to Cali just to hang out and go to the parties and stuff, even if they don't get a ticket to the actual convention. So this is where you can actually still be a part of the convention, which is just, it's awesome. It allows, you know, for more people to be able to celebrate. Wow, Eye for an Eye is like the world's worst secret, and we have it. I think we'll just keep Hammer of Wrath. So that's going to be really cool. I'm really looking forward to that. And if you are in the area, if you just happen to live near Anaheim, or if you're if you were even thinking about road tripping out or whatever, but you weren't sure, like, just because that event alone exists, I think it's really worth it. You should definitely come. Walkman 8 is actually contemplating getting the virtual ticket because it comes with some swag. Yes, you will be able to get some in-game goodies. For Diablo in particular, there is a Diablo pet that's styled after the Diablo 1 version of Diablo. You'll be able to get that. And then of course for the other games, like there's card backs and all that good stuff. So it's worth it, I think. You get to watch all the panels with the best seat in the house. You get to... for 2 weeks actually, you get to watch like everything, so even if you can't catch it all live, but you also get to be a part of it live, which is cool because some of us at the event will also be like live tweeting and stuff. So between watching it, reading the tweets, you know, just having friends over, maybe, like, you can kind of feel like you're having your own BlizzCon party, so that would be cool. And Dainty, safe trip home. Looking forward to having you back when you get home. So I mean, there's definitely good reasons for it. I don't think that it's a bad purchase by any means. Just go with this. I highly recommend it. When the years that I didn't go, and I knew about BlizzCon, I got a virtual ticket, and it was a good experience. So, yep, so right, so that BlizzCon party outside for the 20th anniversary should be really cool, and part of that was them saying that there's going to be a surprise or two, and I don't know if that's where the whole, like, Brevik and Bill Roper thing will come in. Maybe they'll save their reveal of whatever they have. Maybe they recorded a video that announces something and that's going to be revealed there, but people were saying, and it kind of makes sense, that, you know, it's tough to do a reveal at an event where you're not sure everyone is going to attend. Like, the media will be at the convention, right? Like, that is their job, to be there covering the convention, and they will have you know, all the main stage stuff covered. So I think if there's going to be an announcement, it will probably be when they have the panel at the main stage. But that then means, if that's the case, then what is this surprise or two that they'll have out there? Is like someone dressed up as Diablo going to be running around? Like, what constitutes a cool surprise? So I'm looking forward to that one. I'm sure people will be tweeting furiously and whatnot to let you guys know what comes of it. Let's get rid of this guy. I didn't even read what he... Oh, he like throws axes at you. Sweet. I don't have a good play at all, so we'll just pass. It's kind of a bummer. So yeah, looking forward to that party for sure. Come out if you were thinking about it, if you were kind of sort of planning on it. Definitely make it happen. Next up, we have the Diablo 3 Dev Talk and Q&A. Now this is styled specifically for Diablo 3. So we're gonna, and here's I'll just read the description. Get the inside scoop and ask your burning questions about Diablo 3. Join us as lead designer Kevin Martins, senior game designer Wyatt Chang, senior game designer Adam Poole, senior game designer Joe Shelley, and senior game designer Travis Day. Like, everyone has the same title now. Reviews upcoming content and features for Diablo 3, and take live questions from the audience. And so the short version is, this is a deep dive and Q&A on the content and features headed to Diablo 3. Saturday, November 5th at 4 p.m. So of course, and this is on the panel stage, by the way, and Dread saying PvP. It's obviously not going to be PvP. But you can dream. You can dream. Oh man, I wish I had one more mana. Baron Geddon would be perfect for this turn. Kind of want to just Avenging Wrath and clear the board. Oh, but that's a spell though, so we can kind of rely on having that. This is so ugly. Let's do this, this, and this. Okay. So this panel obviously is about the content coming to Diablo 3. And now a lot of people are like, well, what content? Diablo 3 is in maintenance mode. What are they going to give us that's going to be even remotely exciting or fun or useful? And I am anticipating that this will be patch 2.5. I think that this entire panel will be about, you know, similar to last year's BlizzCon, in fact, be about a patch that is pretty decent in size, going to have some features that have not been in the game previously, and talk about some things that should be exciting for players. I think that we'll at least see one big feature. I don't know what it would be, but a lot of people have been guesstimating that if you look across Blizzard's games right now, they all kind of have this weekly thing going on, right? There are all these brawls, basically. Like, I'm doing the Tavern Brawl right now for Hearthstone, and in Heroes, they just added some brawl stuff. I think Overwatch, it has it or is getting it. Oh wow, I didn't realize our life is super low, Jesus Christ. Wow, that is an awful minion. We're probably gonna lose this game, but it's all good. Oh, look at that, we can remove durability. I think we kill this and do that. So I'm honestly anticipating some pretty good stuff coming out of this panel. I think it will be playable at the show, on the show floor. I think it'll be pretty much exactly like 2.4 was when on the demo machines we could try out some of the new sets. That was when, you know, they revealed like the Shadow set rework, the Invoker set rework, all that stuff. So I think that's part of what we will see. I anticipate that they'll talk about kind of development in a larger sense and what we can expect maybe for like 2017. Obviously they're not going to make promises because that's just not what they do, and that would be like in the future in terms of, oh yeah, we're gonna, you know, adhere to this patch schedule or whatever, and that's just not likely to be a promise that they're willing to make. So I do believe that they'll at least say like, oh yeah, you know, development will slow down, kind of like they've already been prepping us for with Wyatt's blog on eras changing over less frequently and things like that. So come on, taunt. Ugh, jeez, that's not good. We're like just gonna die. Just trying to put some damage on the board. So this one should be exciting just because it impacts our near to immediate future. I think, I keep saying this, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to be like exactly like last year's BlizzCon in terms of they'll talk about the features, the patch, we'll be able to play it on the show floor, and then I think it will also go into PTR in a week or so after BlizzCon. So I think we can have that to look forward to. And that kind of makes sense. You know, we were trying to figure out exactly why Season 7 was ending early, why Season 8 is starting before BlizzCon. But if you think about it, it makes sense in terms of like releasing info and one thing not undercutting the other thing. So basically what you have, Season 7 ends, Season 8 starts up, you get to play that for about 2 weeks, BlizzCon happens, talk about patch 2.5 or whatever the next update will be to Diablo 3, give it a week, and then you get to PTR it, and so now you've had about 3 weeks to close to 4 weeks, a month of Season 8, and at that point you can start to PTR the next patch. It goes over the holiday season and allows us to try some stuff out while the devs and everybody are on vacation. They come back in January, we get some PTR updates, and then they're able to get back on that schedule of having a 3-month season. They roll out the next season. Season 9 pops up. It has a patch. It's a decent patch. It's big. And, you know, kind of basically repeat this same year that we had in 2016. That's my bet for that. I think that seems pretty likely, so. But, hey, I would love to be proved wrong, and someone, you know, out there is probably like, this is where they reveal the Diablo 3 expansion number 2. Highly optimistic, but hey, if it happens, awesome. Why not, right? That would be super duper fantastic. We'll see about that, though. What else are they offering? There's also going to be an art panel. I actually don't have info on that in front of me right now, but basically I think we're going to be able to see them create some Diablo-themed artwork, which should be cool. You know, there's always a lot of stuff going on at the convention where you can kind of see the talent, whether that's someone drawing something or creating something, or the voice actors doing their voice thing, or, you know, I don't know, a medley of things. There's always a lot of really cool stuff besides just announcements and panels on the future of games and things like that. So that should be cool. And then a nice little treat. We're not getting, unfortunately, talking about kind of the floor map situation, we're not getting a return of the Slaughtered Calf Inn, which is a bit of a bummer. Nineball was looking at the map and was thinking that maybe the StarCraft guys are getting that treatment because there's something that seemed kind of styled towards them, like a tavern-y StarCraft area. So that could be cool. Let's see, at the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to all other minions. Interesting. And this thing can attack if it's the only thing. Oh, this is going to be good. Let's do this. So, yeah, unfortunately we're not getting that, but we are getting the return of the Lightning Talks. This year they're called Quick Talks, and that's coming in the Dark Moon Fair, which is where the Slaughtered Calf Inn was located last year. This time all that community stuff is going to be on the 3rd floor rather than on the main floor where all the panel stages and stuff are. So that is interesting. Oh, we can only attack if it's the only minion, like literally the only minion. Wow, I feel stupid. Alrighty then. Hopefully I get something like make it a taunt or silence it. That sucks. Okay. That kind of screwed us over. We're probably gonna lose this game. Anyways, so yeah, the quick talks are coming back. That'll be fun. So that'll again kind of have us running back and forth between like the main stage and the panels and stuff, and then upstairs to see the next quick talk. They did say that they're looking into a way to get those like uploaded or recorded or basically made into a way that we will be able to see them beyond the actual convention, because last year, as you remember, they were happening live and they were really awesome, but there wasn't anyone like recording or keeping them, and then they actually had to record all of them again once they were back in the office. So this year, mother effer, this year there should be some cooler things done. Oh, this is so bad. This minion's really good, but we're just gonna lose it. But whatever. I'll make this turn. This game is so lost. So I'm looking forward to that because, of course, the quick talks were really interesting last year. Just a lot of like cool behind-the-scenes, insightful stuff. Almost similar to like the developer chronicle blogs that we've been getting. Like they talk about basically stuff that would go into one of those blogs, but you get like a cool slideshow along with it. And that is pretty much it. Those are our panels. Again, not a ton. So of course people are like, oh man, not, you know, where's our big like chunk of time where they just announce the next game and tell us that everything's gonna be awesome and fine and super dandy. It's not happening this year. I can like almost 100% guarantee that there will not be a new game announcement. There will not be a D3 expansion 2 announcement, if ever, honestly. I think it's just too early. I think people obviously want it because it would be super awesome if we got it. But I just don't see it. Unfortunately, I just don't see it. Oh, you know what? I should have. Dang it. I'm making so many awful plays. I should have done that. Whatever. Yeah. It's just not this year. I don't know. It sucks because, you know, you don't want to be the bearer of bad news. You don't want to, like, kill the hype or whatever, but what can you do? Like, the hiring has been taking place rather recently, and it's still, like, all conceptual stuff. still, you know, getting a game director in there and whatnot. Like, there's no way. I don't think they would announce anything if they didn't have something playable, and I don't think they can have anything playable if they just picked up a game director, if they just, you know, finished getting some art concepting people in there, and now they're looking for like riggers and people to do all sorts of stuff. And now the stuff that they're hiring for isn't even labeled specifically for an unannounced project, but you know, there's a couple of different ways to look at that. Some people are noting that it says for Diablo 3 and any future projects, so I think maybe the unannounced project tag just went away because they don't really need to like say it anymore, maybe. But maybe I should have played that taunt. Yeah, we're so dead. Whatever. We'll just die here. It doesn't even matter. So I don't know. I don't think that just because those positions don't say unannounced project anymore doesn't mean that they will not have some bearing on the future project. And I guess actually, let's talk about that future project. We can move into the spectacular speculation part of this, right? So I wanted to talk specifically about some things that we learned about happening at Blizzard, but is not Diablo related. A couple of days ago, or maybe it was last week, everything's running together at this point. I think it was last week. Tom Chilton, who you may know as game director for World of Warcraft, on Legion in particular, wrote a blog and noted that he is stepping down from that position for World of Warcraft. However, he is not leaving Blizzard, and in this post in specific, he noted that he is moving just down the hall. So what does that mean, right? JR kind of made a funny joke that, by the way, down the hall from World of Warcraft stuff at Blizzard HQ is Diablo stuff. And we noted, of course, there was a game director hiring. And in a way, there were like two game director hirings potentially. There's the fact that Josh left, so his position on D3 kind of opened up. And then, of course, a game director for the unannounced project. Now, they could easily just fill both of those with one person. You know, someone who's looking forward to this new project, but also helping to kind of like keep things running with Diablo 3 as they make their patches and things like that. But it's very peculiar that game director position had just gone down, and then Tom Chilton makes this announcement. And so, of course, now people are spectacularly speculating that he may be helping out with Diablo stuff. And why is this important? Well, you might remember that years and years and years ago, before we got the Diablo 3 that we got, the original Blizzard North was making their own version of Diablo 3, and it was an MMO. It had MMO elements. It was going to be, you know, maybe similar in style to a World of Warcraft. Actually, was World of Warcraft even out yet? I don't know. I'm not a historian. I think it was out by then, though. But, you know, the dream of a Diablo open world, immerse yourself in everything fully, was possible. And then, of course, they pivoted away from that. They made a more traditional ARPG, and we got what we got today. After some years, of course, of tinkering and patches and expansion. Now people are wondering if the unannounced project, again, we keep saying unannounced project, and by this we mean like, it could be anything. The brand new game could be a card game for Diablo. It could be a phone game for Diablo. Diablo on iPads, like, it could be anything, right? So why couldn't it be an MMO? Like, one of the things, of course, that flies in the face of that is, well, they wanted Titan, and Titan didn't happen. Now, I was trying to think of the reason why Titan got scrapped, and if I recall correctly, it was more that they weren't finding the fun, right? I think that's like actually a quote that was there for it. They just couldn't like wrap the game around something that stood up to Blizzard standards, something that they believed would be really good for people to play. And so that doesn't necessarily mean that they didn't want another MMO. It does, and if you're like a business person and you're looking at what Blizzard does, it doesn't make sense to create something in the same genre that you're already dominating, because you're gonna potentially just cut into your own player base or siphon off players from one thing to the other thing, and so there's no growth. You just kind of shuffle, you know, money in left pocket, go to the right pocket. At the same time though, what if you bring in yeah, maybe there's some conversion, like WoW people who really just wanted a Diablo MMO, now they go over to the Diablo MMO. But there also could just be people on the outside who are looking at some of these bigger ARPGs that are coming out. There's that Korean one that I never remember the name of. You know, they could just be looking at that and be like, but, I can play this, I'm just gonna play everything. I can play, I don't have to wait for this Korean MMO-like ARPG thing. I can just play Diablo's MMO, Blizzard's Diablo MMO, and be totally stoked. I don't know. It's an interesting thought. For me, I don't necessarily like the idea of a Diablo MMO simply because I like being able to play my Diablo solo. I really do enjoy just logging in and not having to rely on getting a group together to do content. Like, I don't want content that will be locked behind, you need X amount of players to do this. And that's not to say that they can't make a Diablo MMO and do it in a way that doesn't fall that way, right? Like, if you make it scaling, you can do all the content and it just scales to whether you have one person or two people or three people, then that would be fine. That would be acceptable. But I mean, that waits to be seen. Hopefully they would do something like that, but we don't really know. So we'll see, but it's just kind of something to keep in the back of your head, because it's going to be something that is on our mind right now. And then, you know, we'll get something updating Diablo 3, maybe like another, you know, thing to speculate on, and we'll kind of forget that Tom Chilton is back there doing something. But eventually, something will happen, and we will know what Tom Chilton is up to. The other thing that I did want to speculate on a little bit too is still within game types of what could come up for the next Diablo thing. And if we're trying to think of things that aren't ARPGs, like if they don't want to just make like a better version of Diablo 3, one thing that I was talking to JR about, I think it was originally his idea and I just, you know, hopped on it. And also, what's up to Dead Advocate and Blaine? I know a lot of people are reading into that tweet. I don't think you should get your hopes up on that tweet either, but it is what it is. Another thing JR and I were talking about was, well, think about Overwatch, right? Overwatch is a game that's brand new for... Dude, I have no mana. Oh, this sucks. I think it's a good play. Oh, I'm so stupid. I forgot that loses value, or loses cost when you kill stuff. Oh, whatever. Where was I? Oh yeah, so we're talking about Overwatch, right? Overwatch is a game that exists in a universe that has just been created by Blizzard. What that means, though, is there's so much unexplored territory there. One of the biggest questions that people had for Kaplan, the game director, when Overwatch was first revealed back at BlizzCon 2014, was, how are you going to tell these stories? Like, we want to know so much more about Winston, about Mercy, about everyone in this game, and it doesn't seem like a shooter will really give you a lot of room to tell stories. Like, well, how are we going to figure out more? And I believe, you know, paraphrasing, but he was saying that they had plans to do like multimedia things to get story out there. And we've seen it now, right? We've seen videos where they kind of release some backstory on Soldier 76, on the Widowmaker, on Tracer, other people, Winston. We've seen comics come out, like there's the McCree comic. I think there are other ones that exist too. So there's a lot of stuff that they can do. I mean, maybe they'll make a movie of it someday, but we're talking about games. And I think there's a lot of room within the Overwatch universe, like similar to Warcraft, right? We have the Warcraft RTS, you have the World of Warcraft. Oh, that's interesting. Give me a second. We should get rid of that one. You had the... What did I say? You had the RTS, Warcraft, you had World of Warcraft, MMORPG, and now you have Hearthstone, a card game, all coming from that universe, right? So think about that treatment for Overwatch. What if you get an Overwatch ARPG shooter? What? slow down, right? So Borderlands is a game that exists that basically did that, right? They had the randomization of item drops with guns and things. It seems to be a very successful game. I mean, it warranted a sequel. It was Borderlands 2. I've never played it, unfortunately, so I don't know exactly what it's like. But I could see something like that for the future of if they want to go for an ARPG but different scenario. And they could use Overwatch for that. It would be very weird for them to not make a Diablo game. You know, it would be like basically borrowing the Diablo style, but it wouldn't have the Diablo name on it. And you would basically have Diablo 3, and then you would have like this new thing that's Overwatch, you know, ARPG or whatever the fun name of it would be. So I don't know. It's definitely something. I haven't really given it a ton of thought to flesh that out, but it definitely is kind of interesting, and certainly worth considering. So we'll see. I don't know. There's, of course, all we can do is speculate on that one. I think we will be for quite some time. 2017, though, should warrant some results, some further results on what exactly we might be able to expect, because I think by then they should be far enough along to at least have something like demoable. I mean, like, the thing is, like, you know, Blizzard standards, right? Like, their alphas are like people's finished games, so they'll probably be waiting to really reveal an amazing version that's super playable and whatnot. So it could actually be some longer time, but again, remember, we have like our full slate of stuff. We have PAX East, which actually tickets just went on sale for that today, and that's happening in March, early March of next year. You have Gamescom, which always lands around like mid-August, and of course BlizzCon next year. So there are some options for them to, you know, have avenues to make announcements. But again, like, we shouldn't put stake in anything, because if we've learned anything from this year is anything can happen. We don't really know what we can expect. After you play a battlecry minion, deal 2 damage to a random enemy. I should probably get rid of that. Man, dude, all my cards suck. I mean, this is so RNG, like. Oh, we could actually kill that off. Shoot. Alright, I'll just do this. Whatever. So yeah, again, like, you know, proceed with caution, read into things that pop up, but don't necessarily like increase your hopes and stakes and dreams and stuff. I think the best way to proceed when it comes to like future Diablo stuff is to just be excited to play the game that we have in front of us. Expect change, like, things will happen. It'll be slower perhaps, but things will happen. And then eventually, you know, something cool and really big will happen, and then we can get super excited for that. You'll be a sad panda if we don't get an announcement by BlizzCon 2017. Yeah, I mean, that's just the tale of development, though. It's almost like if you don't want to be sad, then you shouldn't be super informed, because the more you know, then the more you start to expect, and the more you try to like read into things. So it's almost like if you just keep yourself like stupid, quote unquote, if you just keep yourself like aloof from it, then like you can't have high expectations, because you don't really like know what to expect or whatever. But I don't know. I mean, people will do whatever they're gonna do, and you're gonna have to handle however you react. Oh, this is awesome, actually. Whenever a friendly minion dies, this gains 1/1. I think I just have to play that, though. Just play it as a stupid, like, 1/7. This helps to protect this, though. Take that shield off. Alright. Let's see. Lucas Kale, you were getting really excited for the wallpaper change. Definitely thought D4 was coming. Oh, yeah, so there, we can talk about that, too. Actually, someone had tweeted that at me as well to look at. So the official Diablo 3 website got an update to kind of match the forums, basically. The forums got an update a while ago to match kind of all the other forums. Like, if you look at the WoW forums, they look a certain way, a certain style. That is basically what you see. On the Diablo forums, and also kind of the Diablo website has more of that, like, centered, you know, everything's kind of big and accessible look to it. And then the wallpaper changed, and a lot of people were starting to speculate on that and think, oh man, this is going to be Diablo 4 now. So cool. But it is what it is, right? That's clear. Yeah, I could have made it a 2-7, but I wanted to protect that 4-1, because otherwise he could have just killed that with any little thing. What was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. But yeah, I don't know much about the wallpaper thing. I haven't read on the threads or anything like that. I haven't really looked into it. I did see it. It looks interesting. It looks different, but I still don't think... I don't think that will be the thing that tips our hand to, oh, Diablo 4 is coming. Like, maybe it teams up with something, or maybe it's just an image that they had. I don't know. Oh, Dread, you know where it came from? So what is it? You can explain to the people, so I have no clue. So while we wait for Dread to respond, because apparently he knows what it is, I'll tackle the last topic here. I don't even know how long I've been going for, but again, these episodes are kind of just like whatever. They're the length that they need to be. Season 8 thoughts. I'm gonna tie some wishes into this, but also just some reactions. So we knew what the Hadrig's gifts would be for this season because they're rotating through all the sets. And we've had 3 prior seasons of Hadrig's gifts, so this automatically meant that the 4th unused set would be the ones. And I'm not super impressed by all the sets. I mean, some work for some class, like obviously IK is going to be good for Barb, but like Nats hasn't had a really good update to make it relevant, so that's kind of a bummer. Veers is similar for Wizards, just not very good. Eric Hare is actually pretty decent, so that works. But I'm just overall, Uliana's as well is actually pretty good too. So I mean, you have some options, but I don't know. I guess that's just the way it goes. Let's see. It's the Malthael stock image for the website, minus him, and upping the brightness. Well, there you go. And what do I think of the Realm of Evil thing? Oh, actually, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I meant to talk about that earlier. So I'll tie back into that. Oh my goodness. Summon a friendly minion that died. Actually, let's do this. No, it's going to attack the wrong thing. Okay. Oh, nice. I actually got some good value on that. Got the 2-4. Season 8 thoughts. Yeah, so, yeah, the Hadrig's gifts, like, the sets are like, eh. I kind of wish that they divvied them up in a way where there was just, like, at least a few guaranteed, like, really relevant and powerful ones. But I think maybe that has more to do with the sets just being better, better balanced, or just better, at least all brought into relevance. I don't know. That's not really a big complaint that I have. Anyways, my main complaint is the conquest this season. Oh, God. Okay, so this is the main reason why I'm not really participating super heavily. Oh my God, we got Malagos. Oh no! Oh, okay, we can get rid of some minions though. Oh, what the hell? What happened? Oh, Bolvar, or Adric. Damn, dude. We're getting wrecked. F and A. Okay, what do I want to do? Let's clear this at least. We can clear this thing too. Actually, what does it do? Oh, it has 50% chance. Actually, let's do this. We'll do a half measure. Good work. The battle. I am the essence of mana. Okay. Gosh, every time I have to concentrate on Hearthstone, I forget what I was talking about. Oh, the conquest. So this is the reason why, beyond just, obviously I have like a big running schedule these days too, so like I literally get home and then I just run and then I make dinner, and by then it's either pretty close to bedtime or getting towards bedtime, and so I don't have a lot of time to actually like play games in general beyond the weekend. So, you know, it's tough to It's tough to be able to just say like, oh, I'm going to spend a ton of time on this season when I can't really guarantee that I'll be able to do that. So, I was already contemplating not doing too much with this season. Oh, that's a shame. This guy got wrecked. Oh, he gave Wind Fury. Miss! Ooh, didn't miss. Oh my god. But then the conquest came out and I was like, man, these are the conquests that are so time consuming that it won't even matter. It won't even matter. So I ended up not committing to this season super heavily like we normally have in the past. Like I won't do a 24-hour plus marathon the first night. I'm not going to do, I will not be the first person to complete all the conquests like I've strived to be on past seasons. So, you know, I got that last season, will not defend it this season. But I just wish that there was a better diversity of conquests. And I know at BlizzCon last year, I think they said that they wanted to get to a point where they just had like a slate of conquests that they were happy with, and those would just rotate each season. I get that, but once you know what the conquest is and once you've done it, you're gonna first you're gonna have some ones that you really like and some that you dislike, which I think is fine. But you're also gonna just have strategies for them all the time, and it's gonna make for kind of like stale gameplay eventually. Oh my god, we got a 13 damage Avenging Wrath. Oh look, and it will cost less too. Oh, this is awesome. Let's see, we should get rid of something though. It's gonna turn stuff into a chicken, so let's get rid of that. Get rid of this. This is basically like a Cthulhu. That's actually hilarious. Okay. What was I talking about? Conquests. So conquests, I just think that there could be more that's done with them. So I think you can make more. I think that there is still room within the game to make for exciting and different conquests. And hopefully it wouldn't be too time consuming. I don't know if maybe that's something that could be a part of an announcement. This guy's getting so lucky. If that could be part of an announcement, but you know, concerning the next patch or whatever. But here's something that I've been contemplating. I've really been meaning to write an article about this, but I just haven't. The thing that would be really cool. Actually, let's take a step back, right? So what's cool about conquests? Conquests are awesome because at the beginning of the season, it super concentrates you with a goal. You're like, this is what I want to do. I want to be like one of the first persons to get on this leaderboard for this conquest. And you can extend further beyond that. Like, I want to be like the first to do all of them. I want to be the first to do them for hardcore and softcore, and on and on and on. Oh shoot, I didn't realize I was at the life total I was at. Well, I don't think I could have won that anyways. Dude got super lucky with his shifters. I'm gonna take a break so I can talk about this though. So, conquests exist right now to really bolster the start of a season, but once your conquests are done, or once the leaderboards fill up, they become way less enticing. Obviously, if you finish it, then it's super less enticing because you actually don't have the goal of being able to do them anymore. What that does is stales the season because now all you have left is Paragon grind and getting to higher levels of GR and competing on those leaderboards. One of the things that Wyatt and some of the developers had keyed in on at the last BlizzCon was having more than one way to celebrate success in Diablo 3. And what that meant was, you know, with a seasonal journey being in the game, you could feel good about making progress even if your end game wasn't going to be #1 on the Wizards solo leaderboards, right? You could say, hey, I got my GR20 and that's awesome, and it's reflected in this seasonal journey because I get a little check mark. I get my pop-up screen that lets me know, it compares me against my friends. Like a lot of feedback that way. But for Conquest, I think you could even extend it so that you have something to do throughout the entirety of a season that is not just focused on gaining a higher power level. So, for example, If you took the Avaricious Conquest, which right now, as soon as you get a 50 million gold streak, you have completed that conquest. What if you took that conquest and created an extended leaderboard for it that persisted throughout the entire season? Because I know the game tracks your gold streak and it tracks the completion of that conquest, so why couldn't it track the continuation of that gold streak and your best one in the season? So let's say now I log in, 2 weeks into the season, I get a 65 million gold streak. No one else on the server has gotten that, right? So now I'm number 1 on the leaderboard for the perpetual Avaricious Conquest, right? The one that lasts all season long. However, 2 weeks pass, I go and focus on other stuff. I'm working on my greater rifts, getting my gem levels up, and then someone comes along and does a 90 million gold streak. Now they are number 1 on the server for the perpetual Avaricious Conquest. Well shit, now I want to go and defend my title, right? So now I'm gonna focus on tons of gold find, refining my method, trying to fish for a bigger map where I can, and this also, just even in this example alone, this brings rifts back into more relevancy than just getting your keystone to go back into greater rifts, because there's no gold in greater rifts. So if you want to compete on this leaderboard, you are actually specifically taking time away from just working on Paragon, being in the greater rifts where all is just an experience grab bag. You are trying to get gold, and you can create a set around that. You can get your gear like min-maxed for gold find and all that good stuff, so that you can come away with the highest possible gold streak. It emphasizes something that is different and would make for goals for players that don't necessarily just want to chase greater rifts. And I think that's important because you have players who have different incentives, different things motivate them to play the game. Continuing again, what if you had a perpetual greater rift leaderboard for the thrill, right? Which is the one where you have to do a greater rift 45 with no set items at all, no green items equipped. Say you have that leaderboard that continues throughout the entire season, and now you're competing for time. So I clear a greater rift 45, no set pieces, in 10 minutes. Next, some barb comes along, they clear it in 9 minutes. Now they're above my mark. I want to then go back on my DH or whatever I'm playing and really refine my no set setup. I'm like, okay, well, if and now you're even potentially incentivizing players to augment stuff that they won't even use in their greater rift runs or their solo clears or anything like that. Like I might throw some augments for my gems onto my no set just so I can get a better greater rift 45 clear, because because this leaderboard, this conquest leaderboard, is important to me. And so I just think with that idea in mind, it could make for seasons that feel more robust and don't feel like once your conquests are done, once your seasonal journey is done, if you don't want a Paragon grind, then your season is over. I know it feels like I'm kind of ranting, but this is an idea I've had for a long time, and it seems like it would make a lot of sense. But, I mean, I also don't know what the infrastructure is like. Like, maybe creating more of these leaderboards, more stuff to track, is just more stress on the server, more data on their side. There could be a reason, maybe they thought of it, and they haven't done it because, some sort of limitation. Another thing that some players have come up with that's similar, or at least like relevant, is filterable leaderboards. And what we mean by that is basically you should be able to say which Uliana setup has cleared the highest greater rift. Because let's say that this is me blanking on other monk sets. Let's say Inna's is the best greater rift clearing set. Well, that's going to be what you see in the top 100, the top 200 potentially. Like whatever is the 1% better than everything else, that will obviously be at the top. But what if you are just a fan of Ulianas? What if you are just a fan of Sun Wuko's? Well, what if we created a leaderboard or a way to track leaderboards that motivated you to continue to play your Uliana set or your Sun Wuko set, because you can now compete on this board that says you are the #1 monk in the Americas who has cleared a greater rift whatever, using the Uliana set, using the Sun Wukong set. It just creates more ways for you to define what is a successful season. I just think if you give the player to the powers, you create the blank spaces for people to fill things in. Give the power to the players. They're gonna come up with stuff to keep them appetized and interested in the season longer. And I think when you do that, there's less. I mean, there's always gonna be the cry for more, right? People are always gonna want more content. People are always gonna want everything. That's interesting. So, I mean, you know, you're gonna have to figure out something to stem the tide of the masses, and if they're incentivized enough to make seasons that much more robust. I don't, again, beyond not knowing exactly what the limitations are, because there could be technical things in the background, I just think that it makes sense. In the same way that the seasonal achievement leaderboard exists, that's something, again, that kind of motivates people who aren't about just chasing power, but are about completing tasks and objectives. Something, just more things like that, basically. Definitely losing my voice right now. Death rattle minions trigger twice. It's not really gonna help us. This monster is huge. Oh shoot, I'm dumb. I forgot how that minion works. Let's see. Blaine says, I love this idea. I love that some sets are underperforming, and it seems like an easy way to create more content without actually creating much. That's where I'm at with it. I would hope that that was really all it was about, was just, here's a board. It doesn't take long for us to make it. Hopefully it doesn't take too much data for them to track it. And then, boom, go have fun with this new feature. That was basically a feature that we kind of recycled from other features. But yeah, we will see. Can only attack if your hero attack. Wow, we got some awesome cards, and by awesome I mean horrible. Let's smork it up. So yeah, I'm pretty much nearing the end here. One thing I did want to touch on, because Blaine did ask about it. Mighty Turtle's asking about the new voice chat Blizz app thing. I haven't tried it. I tried it when it was in beta with 9ball. I mean, it worked. We heard each other, so that was cool. But I mean, it's all right. I still think people will use their own Discord or whatever, because you can do more with it. But it's just a nice option to have out there. Well, Blaine was asking about the Realm of Evil thing. Some people were looking at that. There was a shirt that was in the BlizzCon pre-sale about the Realms of Evil, and people were thinking, oh, that's the name of the next expansion. I don't think that that is anything. Someone found in like the Book of Cain or whatever the exact art that had come for that shirt, and it talked about like the Realms of Evil. It's just like a lore thing. I think it could be maybe the name of the next feature. Maybe that'll be something that's in patch 2.5. Maybe that's like how they celebrate some of the D1 and D2 stuff. Like, oh, actually this is something. One thing that I hadn't contemplated, because they will be talking about 20th anniversary stuff and some surprises, and they will be talking about the next content in Diablo 3, which is likely a patch 2.5. I think that we might have a way for both of those things to cross over, which would be... what is going on here? I just need to kill this thing. Sorry. What was I gonna say? I think there could be a way for there to be crossover where they create some portals in the next patch that take you to fight like a D1 or D2 boss or something, or maybe to a new zone that's styled after like a D2 zone. There could be some nice crossover between those things. So that's something also to potentially look forward to. So that could also be like Realms of Evil, because now you're opening up these realms, these portals, take you back to past evils. I don't know. It could be anything, but that seems interesting enough for it to be a potential thing. But beyond that, I don't think it represents anything else. I don't think it's the D3 expansion number 2, unfortunately. So, That is pretty much it. Give a minion 2/2 and summon a 2/2. I'll just play this game out and then we'll wrap up a little bit. If I can think of anything else that I want to talk about, then we will do that. Play Wisp. Nah, we'll hold that. Let's think. But yeah, I mean, pretty much, I'm just super excited for BlizzCon. I'm going in after all of this, right? After everything that we've talked about, there's potential for all sorts of hype and craziness and madness, and I am just going in with no expectations. I think whatever happens should be awesome. I think it will be cool when people are keying in on that tweet. I think what it literally means is that BlizzCon is going to be an awesome time. No need to read any further into it than that. I just look forward to, getting to hang out with people that I don't normally get to hang out with. Should be really exciting to see everyone there. And that's it, right? Like, it's just gonna be a fun, cool time. Nothing more, nothing less. Maybe you kill X amount of bosses by gathering random keys and then you get a charm for your inventory. I doubt that they would bring charms into this game. I mean, maybe, but I don't think so. But maybe. Leroy Jenkins. I don't know, the idea of there being like realms to back to D2 type stuff or D1 type stuff, I hadn't even thought about, but it's actually a really intriguing idea. Because I could definitely see them wanting to do something like that. A really cool tie-in. Dude, this sucks so much. I should have killed this up to see what beast I got. Oh, an angry chicken. Fantastic. So awesome. Yeah. Dread, you're out. Alright, man. Take care, dude. Thanks for stopping by. It's always good to have you here. Oh, I guess I should finish up on Season 8. So Season 8 in general, though, I think is, it is what it is, right? It's a placeholder. It's something that's going to be there just to keep us tided over until BlizzCon hits. And then that's going to take the main stage. Like, people will still be playing Season 8, the ones who stay at home. But I don't believe that, Season 8 was meant to be anything more than just like, here's something to continue to do while you wait for exciting stuff. It's just kind of the way things planned out, the way things timed out. So it's fine that it's that you can feel the way about it. If you feel the way I feel about it or whatever, I think that's fine, because there should be other distractions post BlizzCon anyway. So we will see what happens. Oh, I should have wrong order. I'm so good at this game. And you're off to bed as well too, Blaine. All right, man, take care. Good luck in the season. Yeah, so good luck to anyone that's gonna be playing Season 8, of course. Hope you enjoy. Hope it goes well for you. I will be playing Crusader. I will be playing Hardcore. And I will mainly just be focusing on getting my seasonal journey done. And I will get the conquest done, just at a much slower rate. But also, this is the season... Oh, I guess I should have talked about what the conquests were, right? So I think I mentioned that there's the mastering the set dungeons. That one came back, so you have to master 8 set dungeons. And that's just always a bear, because that means you have to create at least a second character. And then there's also another conquest where you have to do 6 sets, use 6 different sets to clear GR55. So this is just the season of a lot of initial input if you're trying to rush those conquests, because you have to gear multiple characters. Which means that the people who get fed a lot of stuff will be the ones who do the best, basically, because they will be the ones who are getting all the free gear and things like that. And I mean, you know how that goes, right? That's never been my style, so even if I were taking it like super hardcore, I don't think that it would go over very well in terms of trying to compete. But, alright, you saw me play a lot of really bad Hearthstone, but we also talked about some fun stuff. We talked about what to expect at BlizzCon, the panels, the party, all that good stuff. Some speculation on the next game, different game types and all that, some Season 8 thoughts, and that is kind of where we will leave things off tonight. I'm not exactly sure what the next episode will entail. Hopefully some cool stuff happens between now and then, but mostly I think we're just waiting for BlizzCon at this point. I think that will be where all the next major talking points arrive from. But until next time, I hope you guys enjoy your games, whether you're playing Diablo 3 still or Hearthstone or any sorts of stuff. Hopefully you will be participating in Season 8, because it is always fun to do the restart, you know, get things going again. Again, you know, this is Leviathan's Lair. It's a show where we just talk about some topics in the community. You guys get to actively participate in the chat. You know, have your opinions and comments right there on the screen and reacted to in live time. So feel free to hop into this session when they go live. I will usually tweet about them right before, but hopefully they will be on Saturdays like midday on this Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Leviathan111. If you want to contribute some topics or just things that you think would be interesting to talk about, you can always hit me up on Twitter, LeviathanD3, or you can send an email to leviathan@blizzpro.com. And that's pretty much it, you know? We keep it simple, we hopefully keep it kind of short, and hopefully you guys stay entertained. So until next time, everybody stay cool, everybody stay good, get hyped for BlizzCon, because it will be awesome, and we'll be seeing you soon.